They told you reality is solid, that matter is king, and energy is just a side effect. But they were wrong. What if I told you that everything you see, everything you touch, everything you feel is energy, vibrating, flowing, responding? Not metaphorically, literally. Ancient civilizations knew this. The Egyptians, the Vedic sages, the Gnostics, the mystics of the East and West. They all spoke of a hidden force, a current running beneath the world of appearances. They called it prana, chi, ruach, vril, ether, the invisible essence behind all things. Modern science calls it frequency, vibration, or the quantum field. But the ancients didn't need particle accelerators. They felt it. They worked with it. They built civilizations on it. You've been immersed in it since the day you were born. You've shaped it, unknowingly, with every thought, breath, emotion, and intention. But what if you could learn to feel it again? What if energy wasn't just a concept, but a tool, a language, a force you could control? In this video, we'll return to what was forgotten. We'll learn how to sense it, direct it, build it, and move with it, as the ancient initiates once did. This is the beginning of energy control. Why you've lost the ability to feel energy. Once, you knew how to feel the invisible. As a child, you didn't question it. You walked barefoot through the world, sensing, absorbing. You could walk into a room and feel tension before a word was spoken. You knew when someone was lying, even if you didn't know what lying meant. You could close your eyes and imagine light flowing through your hands and feel it. That wasn't fantasy. That was your natural perception, unfiltered. The ancients called it the subtle body, an invisible network of awareness that feels before the mind can explain. In China, it was chai. In India, prana. In Egypt, ka. It wasn't mystical. It was foundational. To be human was to sense the field. But slowly, you were trained to stop listening. You were taught to sit down, stay quiet, memorize, and perform. You were told intuition isn't real, that feelings are weakness, that the invisible is nonsense. And so, you adapted. You tightened your body. You doubted your gut. You ignored your inner signals. They told you the physical world is all that's real, that what you can't see doesn't exist. But they were wrong. You live now in a world of noise, notifications, expectations, fear dressed as logic. You've been distracted from your own current, the river of life flowing inside you. But here's the secret. Your ability to feel energy was never destroyed, only silenced. Like a sacred instrument, it's still within you, waiting, every tingling sensation in your palms, every moment of sudden knowing, every chill you feel for no reason. That's the field, whispering. Energy is not something you believe in. It's something you can learn to feel. Again. In the next chapter, we'll begin with the first ancient practice, the root of all inner mastery, stillness, not as absence, but as gateway. The first principle, stillness. Before movement, before breath, before creation itself, there was stillness, not silence. Stillness. A sacred presence behind the noise, where energy becomes visible to those who can feel. Every ancient initiation began with this. The Vedic rishis would sit at dawn, listening not to sound, but to space. Taoist monks practiced Wu Wei, the principle of effortless non-doing. Hermetic adepts entered chambers of darkness for 40 days just to rediscover the language of stillness. They weren't escaping the world. They were learning to see it differently. Because in stillness, the patterns emerge. The body relaxes. The inner senses awaken. Your energy is always in motion, but without stillness, you'll never feel it. Stillness allows the mind to soften, the muscles to unclench, the distractions to fall away. And once the mind no longer grabs at thought, something else begins to speak. Sensations arise, warmth in the palms, buzzing in the spine, a pulse between the eyes. That's not imagination. That's your energetic system reactivating. Now, try to sit in stillness. Sit for just 3 minutes, back straight, shoulders down. Breathe, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Let thought pass like clouds. Don't chase them. And wait. At first, you'll feel nothing. That's okay. Stillness is not a feeling, it's a space, a doorway. The ancients said, stillness is the altar of spirit. And it is only from the altar that the force can be summoned. In the next chapter, we'll step across that altar and learn the breath that moves energy like wind through a flame. Breath, the bridge between worlds. In the beginning was breath, before the first language, before any scroll was written or temple raised. The ancients revered a single force, the breath of life. The Egyptians called it Sa, the animating force of the soul. In India, it was prana, not just air, but the current of divine intelligence. In Hebrew, ruach, the wind, the spirit, the breath of God. And in Greek, pneuma, the invisible essence that gave form to life. Across every continent, every mystery school, every hidden order, the breath was not taken for granted. It was a ritual, a key, a sacred bridge between worlds, the body and the unseen, the physical and the energetic, the self and the source. Breath is the only system in the body that is both automatic and conscious. It is the gatekeeper. And when you reclaim it with intention, you begin to access what the sages once called the throne of power within. Why the breath? Because the breath is the only force in your body that connects the conscious and the unconscious. You can control it at will, or let it run automatically. And that makes it a gateway between worlds. In ancient texts, it was said, as the breath moves, so does the soul. Modern science shows us, every thought, every breath, every heartbeat emits a frequency. You are not a body in a void. You are a field within a larger field. And the breath is what tunes your field to the quantum web that connects all things. When you breathe slowly and intentionally, your brain drops into theta and alpha states, the same states used in hypnosis, meditation, and deep intuition. These brain states act like tuning forks, aligning your internal rhythm with the subtle rhythms of the universe. In quantum terms, this is coherence dash. When your mind, heart, and breath align into a stable vibrational signal. And when you're in coherence, the quantum field responds. Possibilities collapse into probabilities. Outcomes shift. Reality bends. Every inhale is an act of receiving. Every exhale is an act of releasing. And when you do it with intention, you're not just breathing. You're sending a signal, a message to the field that says, I am awake, I am aware, I am ready to shape. The breath is the sacred code embedded in your biology, a divine rhythm hidden in plain sight. Master it, and the world begins to respond in kind. Initiate practice, the breath of the three worlds. Now, prepare to reclaim the throne, Sit in a quiet space. Feet grounded, spine long. Let your hands rest gently in your lap, palms facing up. We begin with the breath of the three worlds, a sacred pattern used by Taoist internal alchemists and Hermetic initiates. 1. Inhale for 4 seconds, through the nose. Let it rise from the base of your spine to the crown of your head. Visualize it passing through 3 spheres: lower world, your belly, the root of instinct; middle world, your chest, the seat of feeling; upper world, your forehead, the gate of vision. This is the upward current lifting your awareness. 2. Hold for 4 seconds. In stillness, in this space between breaths, the veil thins. Let your mind become silent. Visualize your entire body glowing with golden or silver light. You are not just breathing air, you are charging your field. 3. Exhale for 6 seconds, through the mouth, gently. Release through the crown and down your arms, into your palms. Feel the current flowing outward, clearing, cleansing, stabilizing. Repeat this cycle 7 times. 7. The number of perfection, the planetary gates, the seals of initiation. As you continue, you may begin to feel tingling in the hands or lips, pressure between the eyebrows, warmth or waves moving through your limbs, a presence watching from within. These are not hallucinations. These are signs of reactivation. Esoteric breathwork, power in practice. In ancient Egypt, breath was used to enkindle the Ka, the luminous energy body. In Tibet, monks practiced Tummo, breath to create inner heat and willpower. In Hermetic initiation, breath was taught before speech, because you cannot speak reality into being without first commanding your own rhythm. When the breath is aligned, the field follows. When the breath is deep, the soul rises. When the breath is intentional, reality bends. Ask yourself, when was the last time you breathed as if your life was sacred? You do not need to master complex rituals to change your life. You only need to breathe, as the ancients did, with presence, with reverence, with power. In the next chapter, we will take this breath into the hands and learn to feel the current that has always been there, waiting. Prepare to sense your own energy in motion. Sensory focus, feeling energy flow. You've breathed, you've entered stillness, you've opened the gate. Now it's time to feel what has always been there. The energy inside you is not theoretical. It is not abstract. It is tangible. You were simply never taught how to listen. In every mystery tradition, the hands were sacred instruments. In Qigong, they were used to gather and project qi. In Hermeticism, to channel magnetism. In Egyptian rites, to awaken the Ka through touch. The hands are where energy speaks first, because they are extensions of the heart field. The energy ball practice, a ritual of awakening. Sit quietly. Place your hands in front of you, palms facing each other, about the width of your chest apart. Relax your shoulders. Breathe softly. Close your eyes if you wish. Step 1. Attune. Begin to move your hands slowly closer and then apart, like waves, gently, rhythmically. You're not trying to feel anything. You're allowing. Focus not on your thoughts, but on the space between your palms. Step 2. Observe. Do you feel warmth, a tingling, a magnetic push or pull, maybe a subtle resistance, like your hands are moving through invisible mist? That is your field, activating. becoming conscious of itself. Step 3. Shape. Now, imagine a glowing ball forming between your hands. It may be golden, violet, electric blue, whatever comes naturally. With each breath, expand and compress it. Play with the shape, the texture, the charge. Don't doubt, don't analyze, just feel. What you are experiencing is real. It is not metaphor. It is energy made manifest through attention. This is the beginning of energy control, and it will evolve. Today, it's your hands. Soon, it will be your body, your environment, your reality. Ancient reference: the ritual of the living flame. In Hermetic rites, initiates would use their palms to move the living flame through the air. A symbolic act that trained them to direct inner fire outward. In Shaolin practice, the monks trained their sensitivity with moving air currents, feeling heat and force where none could be seen. In both cases, the hands were not passive. They were sensors and senders, mapping the unseen world, shaping it. This is your first proof. You are not imagining, you are remembering. And what begins in stillness becomes power in motion. In the next chapter, you'll learn to direct that power with will, emotion, and attention. Because where energy flows, reality follows. Intention and direction, commanding energy with focus. Feeling energy is the beginning. But directing energy is mastery. In every ancient tradition, this was the turning point, where the initiate became the creator. Because energy doesn't respond to effort, it responds to intention. Hermetic principle: where attention goes, energy flows. The Hermetic masters knew your thoughts are electric, your emotions are magnetic, and your attention is a wand that tells the universe where to move. What you focus on grows. What you ignore fades. And what you believe begins to take form. In ancient Egypt, intention was infused into ritual breath before entering sacred space. In Vedic fire ceremonies, the sankalpa, the seed of intention, was whispered into the flames. In Taoist internal alchemy, energy was directed through the mind's eye, not the muscles. They weren't forcing energy. They were guiding it. Practice, the pointed flame technique. Try this. Sit still. Place one hand over your heart, the other over your belly. As you inhale, focus on something you want to charge. A project, a space, a relationship, an internal quality, like courage. Visualize it glowing brighter with each breath. Now infuse it with emotion, gratitude, certainty, power. This is how you impress energy into the field. Your thoughts are the arrow. Your emotion is the flame. Together, they become intention. The difference between thinking and intending is presence. The difference between hoping and commanding is certainty. You are not asking the world to change. You are vibrating in a way that demands alignment. Why this works energetically. Intention collapses possibility into pattern. The quantum field, infinite potential, responds to the coherence of your signal. The clearer your intention, the more the field organizes around it. Not because you're forcing, but because you're finally broadcasting from your center. This is how masters shape their environment without speaking. Why some people feel magnetic. Why others follow without knowing why. They have coherent energy and a directed will. You've breathed life into your field. You've felt it move. And now, you've learned how to aim it. In the next chapter, we complete the foundation, how to build your energy with repetition and ritual. Because energy, like fire, grows where it is fed. Ritual and repetition, embedding energy control. You've opened the current, you've learned to direct it. Now, you must anchor it. Because energy mastery is not a moment, it's a rhythm. In the ancient world, repetition was a gateway to the divine. Every temple had ritual, every mystery school had daily practice, not because the gods needed it, but because you do. The Egyptians called it Heka, the magic of uttered words and repeated movement. The Vedic sages performed Agnihotra at sunrise and sunset. Taoist adepts cultivated Nidan, the inner elixir, through daily breath, movement, and stillness. These weren't routines, they were rituals of remembering, aligning the self with the unseen. The principle, energy builds in pattern. Like a fire, energy grows when it is tended, fed by attention, fueled by presence. Your body learns, your field learns. And with each repetition, the signal you send to the quantum field becomes stronger, clearer, more magnetic. You begin to radiate intention, even in silence. Daily ritual template, simple but potent. Start with this: time. Choose a window, morning or evening, keep it consistent. Place. One sacred space, even if it's just a corner of a room. Sequence, 3 minutes of stillness. 7 breaths, as taught before. 2 minutes of energy sensing, palms, body, chest. 1 clear intention, silently or spoken. Light a candle if you wish. Add music, a symbol, a hand gesture. Let it become yours. On day 1, you feel subtle warmth. By day 3, your intuition sharpens. By day 7, people begin to notice. By day 21, you are different. Energy doesn't lie, and repetition doesn't just build skill, it transforms identity. Optional enhancements from ancient practice. Burn sage or frankincense to shift the energetic tone of your space. Use breath to charge water before drinking, as in old priesthoods. Visualize ancient symbols, spirals, eyes, suns, during intention setting. These additions are not required, but like incense before prayer, they awaken something older in you. Ritual isn't about control, it's about coherence. Repeating your connection to energy makes it real, stable, alive. And soon, the practice becomes the person. In the final chapter, we return to the big picture. What changes when you master this energy? And how do you walk differently in the world once you remember who you really are? Let's enter the closing reflection. The reflection. Walking as energy in a world of form. Something is shifting in you, subtle but undeniable. You may begin to notice. You enter a room and people look up. You say less, but your words carry more weight. You no longer chase. Things begin to come to you. This is not coincidence. This is coherence. When your energy becomes stable, the world responds differently. Because most people live in fragments, scattered thoughts, reactive emotion, chaotic rhythm. But when you begin to control your energy, you become whole. And in a world of noise, wholeness is magnetic. You begin to perceive differently. You notice patterns in people, energy signatures. You hear what's not said. You feel truth before it's proven. Your reality bends not because of force, but because you are finally in harmony with the field that shapes it. and you begin to choose differently. You stop giving energy to what drains you. You don't fight chaos, you change your frequency. You realize the battlefield was always internal, and with that knowing comes peace. The path you're on is not new. It's the one walked by mystics, sages, initiates, healers, and quiet warriors. And now, by you. You are not just a body. You are a field, a source, a sovereign force. Before you go, carry this with you. Every breath is a chance to recalibrate. Every thought is a frequency. Every intention is a command. Control your energy, and you begin to rewrite reality from the inside out. You are no longer asleep. You are not waiting. You have begun. The journey has only just begun. Subscribe and prepare to go deeper. Next, we'll explore how your energy affects others and how to wield influence without saying a word.